default subnet mask for each class, class A, class B, class C. First of all, in IP addressing, what we had discussed, classification, how we classify the IP addressing, right? By reserving some bits in first octet. For class A, we had reserved 1 bit. For class B, 2 bit. For class 3, C bit. Similarly, for class D multicasting range, we have reserved 3 bits, 1, 1, 1 and 0. Rest 5 bits can be 0 to 1. So we had seen the classification, and why we come up with classification, to reduce the shortage of IPv4 addressing. Then to reduce the wastage of IPv4 addressing, we come up with subnetting. Like if I am going to use any IP from class C, so minimum I will get 254 IP addresses in one network. In one network we will get minimum 254 IP addresses. If I have a requirement of 10 IP address, there is no any class. So what we did, we come up with CIDR concept. First subnet mask concept, like class full subnet mask. For class A, 255.0.0.0, for class B, 255.255.0.0, and then for class C, 255.255.255.0. Then we come up with CIDR, classless interdomain routing. By default, CIDR for class A is /8, right? What is the difference between subnet mask and CIDR? Tell me the difference. These are interview questions. At the same time, you need to prepare yourself for interview as well, right? You are definitely preparing for exam, but at the same time you have to prepare for interview. Like gather some technical words, or you can maintain your own note where you can write the best definition, and you can practice 2 to 3 times, right? So that in case someone is going to ask you, or interviewer is going to ask you in the interview, you can answer them. So they can ask you, what is the difference between subnet mask and CIDR? This is commonly asked network engineer interview question, very common. So tell me the answer of this question. CIDR value for class B is going to be /, for class B it is going to be /16, and for class C it is going to be 24. So what I have told you, subnet mask represent what? Each and every IP address is combination of 2 things, network bits and host bit. Subnet mask is a tool, subnet mask is a marker which specify how many host bits and how many network bits are present inside an IP address. In an IP address, for an example, 192.168.10.100. Here, if I am not going to define any subnet mask, any CIDR value, then also you can tell me how many network bits are there, how many host bits are there. How? Because of default subnet mask. You know this particular IP address belongs to class C, and for class C we have a default subnet mask 255.255.0. It means there are 24 network bits and 8 host bits. So full network ID is going to be 192.168.10.0. If you will talk about CIDR, then it is going to be /24. We have discussed this. And what is CIDR? Here you can see CIDR is nothing but network bits representation in a particular IP address. If I am going to say 192.168.100.200/24, it means 24 network bits are there in this particular IP address, and you already know the total length of IP address 32 bits. So out of 32 bits address, if 24 are network bits, it means 8 are host bits, right? So either you have subnet mask or CIDR. You can calculate network bits and host bits, and when you calculate network bits and host bit, now you can calculate the number of subnet, you can calculate the number of valid host, you can calculate the network ID, broadcast ID, first valid IP address, last valid IP address, fifth valid IP, any IP address. I had told you to solve the question of all subnetting, you need 3 formulas. One to calculate valid host to power h-2. One is to calculate the subnet. Formula of subnet is 2 power n, where n is borrow bit, how many bits we are going to borrow, and one was block size. 256 minus subnet mask of that octet where last one is present. I have told you the octet where last network bits is present, that is our interesting octet. all submit is going to happen in that octet only. So the difference between subnet mask and CIDR, the very common and simple difference you can say, like subnet mask specify network bits and host bit, CIDR only specify network bits. With the help of CIDR only we can create our own class, any class. Like if I need 100 number of IP address, if I need 100 IPs, I will use slash what? I will use slash 20. I will use slash 25. You know now, for 100 IP address I need to use slash 25. If I will use slash 24, it means I am wasting 154 IP addresses. If I am using slash 25, it means total we have how many IPs? 126. I will keep 26 IPs for future, for scalability. Right? So we have seen this classification and subnetting, basic subnetting. Then these are the questions. Like try to solve this first question. What it's saying, enter the last valid host on the network that the host this is a part of. First of all, tell me, this is a IP address, network ID, broadcast ID, which type of address it is? Which type of address it is?
The broadcast ID.
It is a broadcast ID. See, before solving, like when you are beginner in subnetting, then this will be the best way to solve subnetting. See, first look at into the first octet value and identify the class. Identify the class. So see, the first octet value in first octet is 10. It means this particular IP address belongs to which class?
A.
It means
A.
this particular IP address belongs to class A. For class A, what is the default CIDR value?
255.0.0.0.
Yes, or slash 8 you can say. And what I am using, slash 27. It means we have borrowed how many bits?
20.
20 bits or 19 bits?
19.
Right? And if slash value is 27, it means it is representing network bits. It means how many host bits are there?
Yeah.
Total length of IP is 32 bit. So 32 minus 27 means 5 bits are host bit. Okay, correct. What will be the first network, first subnet? If I am using slash 27, what will be my first subnet? First subnet. For slash 27, tell me, in third octet, how many bits are on? 3 bits. 5 times 0. This is my fourth octet. So what will be the subnet mask of fourth octet, guys? 224. It means for slash 27 subnet mask is 255.255.224. This is first thing. You need to write down the subnet mask. Maybe in the question subnet mask is directly given or CIDR value is given. So if CIDR is given, just find the subnet mask. Step number 1. Step 2, find the network ID. So subnet ID is going to be 10 dot first network 0.0.0. Is it the first network? Hello. Is it the first subnet?
No. Slash 8.
No, slash 27. This is the first subnet, guys. Why not? This is what we had discussed. Like how you were solving class C submitting, let's say 192.168.1.10 slash 27. How you will find the network ID? First network is going to be 192.168.1.0, because for subnetting what we have did here, we have borrowed 3 bits. For subnetting we have borrowed 3 bits, but here
24 and 3 subnet.
here for
24
subnetting
and
we have borrowed how many bits? 19 bits, right? Default area is /8. So this is going to be your first subnet. Second subnet, Praful find the block size for that. Block size is 256 minus 224. What will be the block size? 32? 32 is the block size. 32 is the block size. Can anyone tell me how many IP addresses will be there in one subnet? How many IPs in one subnet?
30.
30.
30.
Definitely. It means second subnet is 110.0.0.32. Third subnet
64.
10.0.0.64. Like this, you will have one subnet 10.86.86.0. Then you will have one subnet 10.86.86.32. Then you have a subnet 10.86.86.64. Then you will have one subnet 10.86.86.64 plus 32, 96. Now you tell me this IP address is a network ID, broadcast ID or valid IP address?
Valid IP address.
Network ID.
Not network ID. Network ID is what? 32 then .64. Right, this network .64 is ending over here, is ending on 10.86.86.95, and this network is ending over here 10.86.86.63. So see, this particular IP address is belongs to this subnet, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now what it asking? Enter the last valid IP address. Is it the valid IP address? No, this is the broadcast ID. What will be the last valid IP address? 10.86.86.62. Now you tell me which option is correct. Option D is the right answer. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it clear to everyone? Anyone is there who is not clear with this question? How I have calculated the subnet?
My phone went off, so I didn't follow it.
Huh?
My computer went off, so I didn't follow it.
Okay, here have you understood how I have calculated option D is the right answer for this particular question?
But let me see.
I can also tell you one trick to find the network ID. See, if I am going to give you this IP directly like 10.86.86.62/27, right? I can ask you a question like this. Tell me the network ID directly. Tell me the subnet ID. Or let's ask, before solving this question, let me ask you one easy question. 192.168.1.150 or 150, or I can say okay, 150 and slash, let's say 26/26. Tell me the network ID or subnet ID. Tell me the subnet ID of this particular IP address. You cannot say 192.168.1.0. No, that is not correct answer. 1.0 is not the right answer of this particular question. Tell me the network ID. How you will find network ID? See, to find the network ID, you need to find block size, guys. That's it. If you have block size, I can tell you one trick as well. You can quickly identify the network ID. Quickly. What will be the block size?
How that possible?
Tell me the block size first. What will be the block size for /26?
96.
96?
No, sorry. 64.
256 minus, yes,
64.
64 is the block size. You know, you need to find a number nearest to 150, which is divisible by 64. Like first number is 0, second number which is divisible by 64 is 64, third number is 64 plus 64, 128, fourth number is 128 plus 64,
196. 192.
192. So you can see these
192.
are the different network. Here we can identify, okay, 152 is lesser than 192 means and greater than 128.
128.
It means network ID of this particular IP address is what? 192.160.1.128. So you can find the number nearest to 150 which is divisible by your block size. Right? You can also like divide. If I will divide 150 by 64, 2, so 8. If I will subtract 2, 22. If you will subtract this 22 from 150, 150 minus 22, what value you will get? 8. And here 2 and here 1, 128. You can see this way also I can find the network ID. This is the quick way to find network ID of any IP address. Logic is same, right? Logic is saying, see, here I have calculated all the subnet, first subnet, second subnet, third subnet, fourth subnet, and by looking into my IP address, we can identify this IP address belongs to which subnet. So again, similarly, if I will ask you what will be the network ID of this subnet, you need what? Block size. Block size is, in my case, block size is 256 minus 224, 32. Now I need to find a divisible number by 32 and near to 62, like just before 62. Before 62, divisible number by 32. A number before 62 which is divisible by 32. What will be that number? See, first number is 0, second number is 32, third number is 64. It means this IP address belongs to this subnet 32, correct? 10.86.86.32. This way also we can find the network ID, and here we know first, like this IP address belongs to this network 10.86.86.32. Next network is 10.86.86.64, right? It means this network is ending on .63. It means .62 is the last valid IP address. Yes or no? This way. So you need 3 formulas.
Yes, sir.
Next question. Tell me the answer of this question. It's very easy question, guys. What is the maximum number of subnet and host per subnet for 192.168.50.247 with this subnet mask 255.255.255.224? Again, CIDR value 27. 2 to 4 means 3 bits are on and 5 bits are off. Yes, na?
So answer is C. 8 subnet 30 host per subnet.
Exactly. So when, see the IP address, this IP address belongs to class C. For class C, default CIDR value is 24 and I am using /27. It means we have borrowed 3 bits. If you will find the subnet 2 power 3, it is going to be 8. This is exam question. So option A is incorrect. It's saying 2 subnet, no. Option B is saying 4 subnet, no. Option D is saying 16 subnet, no. We will get 8 subnet. So option C is the correct. Even you can also find the valid host. How we calculate valid host? 2 power H minus 2. So out of 32 bits IP address, 27 are network bits, means 5 are host bits. So 2 power 5 minus 2. 2 power 5 is going to be 32. So 32 minus 2, it is going to be 30. So you can see 30 valid IP address. Option C is the right answer. Hope it is clear to everyone. Can I move?
Yes, sir.
Great. See the third question and tell me the answer. Yeah, it's just asking you the subnet mask from the CIDR value. So slash 13 means in first octet all the bits are 1, means 255, then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. When 5 bits are 1 and 3 bits are off, what will
So
be the
answer is
subnet
B.
mask? B 248. B. Okay, this is just a direct question. Sometimes Cisco is asking these types of easy questions in exam. Even you can check in official book, you will see some very easy questions. Now it is asking you the usable IP address. How many usable IP addresses can be assigned to the host on slash 26? When we are using slash 26, how many user can be there in the host, in the network? 1 minute.
C.
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 You can directly use your formula. 2 power h minus 2 is the formula to calculate valid host. And we know total length of IP address is 32 bits. Out of 32 bits, slash 26 means 26 are network bits. Means how many host bits are there? 6. So 2 power 6. 2 power 6 minus 2. 2 power 6 is 60. 4 minus 2, it is going to be 62. In the last class also I had told you slash 26 will always give you how many IPs? 62 IPs. Next question. See, which of the following answer lists the decimal notation of this binary? Okay, again very basic question. It is going to be
2 to 4.
224. Yes, correct.
Class B.
B. 3 bits are on. Here, see, this question is saying your router has the following IP address on Ethernet 0 interface. Let's say you have a router in your network and this router is connected with switch. Okay, and on the router you have configured this IP address 172.16.2.1/23. Which of the following can be the valid host ID on the LAN interface attached to the router? Now here you have LAN users. So which IP address from these options can be a valid host ID? Host ID means IP address of host. Host ID is not network ID, not subnet ID. Host ID means IP address, which usable IP address, which we can configure.
Which can you use in your end device.
Yes.
Answer is D.
Can I configure E like this one, 172.16.1.100? If no, then tell me why, which IP address it is.
D.
If I am going to configure this IP on host 172.16.1.100, can this user access internet? Yes or no?
Yes.
It means option A is correct then. It means boss option A is correct. Can I configure this IP address to the host and host access internet? If you are saying yes, it means this is also valid IP. No.
Yeah, that's an valid IP too.
Which one is a valid IP?
D.
B.
D. The
D.
last one.
This one.
Yes.
Everyone? What about others? Just calculate it, guys. No problem. I'm not in a hurry. Giving you time. Calculate it and tell me your final answer. Option D is not correct.
D is not correct.
Option C is correct.
Option C is correct. Okay, before that, tell me the network ID of this IP address. Network ID.
Yeah, that's true.
I will-
C is the right, C is the
C.
right answer.
Tell me
Sorry.
two things, block size and network ID. Subnet ID, block size.
The block size is 2.
256 minus 254.
4. So
It is
2.
going to be 2.
Yeah, yeah. So C is the right answer. Sorry about that.
C.
Why not A?
Because A is not part of the network.
Yes.
It's a
It
different.
belongs
Why?
to, yeah,
Yes.
that's another network. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Right,
A is
interval
not
can,
part of the network. B is not part of the network.
B
C
is
is
also
not
The
part of
third octet is belonging to 2.
C,
Yes.
yes.
So Professor, the 255 fooled me, but I wasn't watching the block size as 2. That's why I got confused. So my bad.
Yeah,
Interviewer-
and Professor, the question too, the way that you ask the question is because if you ask me if A is a valid IP, yeah, A is a valid IP, B is a valid IP.
No. A is a not
C
valid
also
IP
is
address
valid
of this subnet, na bro.
Yeah, you have to watch the subnet, the interesting
Then
subnet, which is
10.1.1.1 is also a valid IP address, but this is different, belongs to different
Network.
subnet, right? Not part
Yes,
of my
yes.
router interface. On the router
Yes,
interface,
yes.
we have fixed this IP address. Now
Yes,
here is a
yes.
question. So no, like A, option A, this IP address is not part of my subnet. You can even find the first network, second network, first subnet, second subnet. First subnet is going to be 172.16.0.0. Second subnet is going to be what? 172.16. Where I will add 2? In 4th octet or 3rd octet?
0.1.
the third octet. So the next one would be 4.
Yes, 2.0. Third subnet 172.16.4.0. So
Yes, sir.
this network is ending over 1.255. This network is ending over 3.255.
Yes.
And this network is
4.255.
ending over 3.255.
3.255.
Now you can see this IP address is part of which subnet? First subnet, correct?
Yes, sir.
This one. This IP address is again part of this first subnet. This IP address is part of my subnet. 3.0 is also the correct answer. Yes or no? 3.0?
No.
Why no? 3.0 will come here na, from 2.0 to 3.255.
Yeah, it's part of the subnet, but if you put it here, it's not gonna work.
No, why not? It will work, brother. It is going to work. You can configure it.
Well, I have to see that.
Right, so option C and option D both are correct option. Yes or no?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I said C. C is also correct. C and D.
C and D both are correct.
Yeah.
Here-
Yes.
We can test it also, like R1. And here you can imagine I have a switch and then I have LAN users. Connect it. On the router interface, I am going to configure CMIP. Enable, and let me see the IP address. Config D, you can test this scenario as well, and it will be good if you will test 172.16.2.1 and subnet mask. What will be the subnet mask? /23 252.0. So I have configured this IP. If I will assign this option to PC, and for the testing you can do one more thing, like on the router you can create one loopback 8.8.8. you can imagine that is internet 8.8.8 255.255.255. 255. You can imagine 8.8.8 is nothing but your internet interface F0/0 and no IP proxy. I have disabled one feature, later you will learn these all. Now here is my PC. Let me take you to here, and on the PC, if I am going to assign option C means 172.16.2.255 and subnet mask 255.255.252.0. and if I am going to ping 8.8.8, ping should work, ping 8.8.8.8.
I think the subnet is 254, Sir Professor, not 252. No?
Where? Subnet mask. Okay, it's 254. It's my mistake. Correct. Why ping is not working? Why I am not able to ping 8.8.8? Let me ping. Okay, because we didn't configure the gateway, gateway IP address. I'm sending traffic in different subnets. So gateway is router IP. Router IP is 172.16.2.1. Now let me see the gateway is like 8.8.8 is reachable or not. Internet. You can see ping is working. But if I will change the IP address and if I will configure option A here 170.16.1.100, and now if I will try to access it, see, first of all it is giving me the error. What? This is an invalid IP address. Why this is an invalid IP? 172.16.1.100 and 255.255.254.0. Correct. Now let me ping 8.8.8. See, still ping is working. Still ping is working. I've configured, see, the default gateway IP address and the IP address on PC. Both are in same subnet or different subnet? Default gateway and my IP.
Same subnet.
Same subnet.
Same subnet. If both are in same subnet, then brother, I can configure option A as well. Option A is also correct. Here is the calculation. IP from 172.16.0.0 to 1.255 belongs to first subnet. No, this IP address is not part of my subnet. Here communication is working because of another feature, right? But in the production, like instant of router, if you have another device here, then ping should not work. Here we can check one more thing. ARP. PC is able to resolve the MAC address and IP config. IP address is 172.16.1.100. See, in this case, default gateway and my PC both are in different subnets, so ping should not work. This user should not be reachable from internet. Like internet should be not reachable from this particular user, as both are in different subnet. But here it's working because of one feature. Let me do one thing. Interface, or first check do show IP interface fast Ethernet 0/0. I don't want to discuss proxy ARP now here. IP proxy ARP, even I have disabled this feature. So run. Do show run.
Yeah.
Fast Ethernet 0/0. My IP is incorrect over here. Let me correct it. Like subnet mask is incorrect. Yes or no? You can see IP.
Yes, Sir Professor. That's why it worked.
170.16.2.1 255.255.254.0. whatever now. IP address.
Valid. No, you didn't put the IP address. You put the IP.
Okay, IP address 170.16.2.1 255.255.254.0. Got it.
It shouldn't work. It shouldn't work now, Perform.
Now go to PC and ping. Now you can see ping is not working. Right here, you know the troubleshooting why ping is not working. My gateway is not in same LAN. That's why ping is not working. If you will enable black, by default ping will work. Here I have disabled the proxy ARP feature. If you will enable the proxy ARP again on the router, by default it's enabled. Then ping will work. But actually ping should not work. When default gateway and the host IP both are not in same subnet. Okay. Similarly, you can also try option B. Option B will also not work. But option D, someone said only C. Let me try to access internet with option D IP as well. Option D is 3.0. So here say 3.0. 3.0. See, this IP address is a valid IP address, and go to CMD and access 8.8.8 and
It's
see
not gonna work.
working. Right? It means both
It
are
will work. Yes.
valid
what
IP address.
what is the router IP address?
Broadcast
still the-
ID.
Oh, okay.
Router
Okay,
IP
yeah,
is still same. Right. So both the IP address are part of my subnet because this is my subnet range. Is it clear to everyone this question? This was tricky question.
Yes, sir. It was tricky. Yeah.
Okay.
Good job. Thank you.
Can I move to the
Well,
next
if
question?
that was a CNA exam. You already failed because you don't have a time to do all that.
Now, if you are going to solve now, see how quickly I can find the answer. And if you know the subnet mask for all the CIDR value, you can calculate block size quickly. If you will calculate the block size quickly, like my block size is 2. Now I can find the subnet quickly. My first subnet is 172.16.2.0. Like 0.0, first 0.0, then 2.0, then 4.0. Right, and this IP address belongs to this subnet. This subnet is ending over 3.255. Now I can check how many IP addresses are under this range. So option C and option D. So within 20 to 30 seconds, I can find the answer. Right, just you need to practice some questions. I already told you submitting is all about practice. See the next question. What is the broadcast address of network? 192.168.116.64 and this submit mask. Again 3
B.
bits are. So block size is
32.
32. Means network ID is, this is network ID only, right? This is not a valid
Yes,
IP.
sir.
Next network is
32 minus 32 plus 64.
It's 96.
first subnet is going to be 192.168.116.0, then 116.32, then 116.64, then 116.96, and this IP address belongs to this sub. This is the network ID, by the way. Last IP address is going to be 1195, 116.95. This is broadcast address. We cannot configure it. It is asking broadcast address only. So broadcast address is .95, means option B.
B.
If it will ask last valid IP address, then it is going to be .94. First valid IP address is going to be .65. Third valid IP address, right? You can find any valid IP, correct? Got it, everyone?
Yeah, but more practice later.
Absolutely. Then see the next question. What is the valid host range? Is the IP address 187.223/27. Valid host range. Valid host range of a subnet. First tell me this IP. This is IP address, broadcast address or network ID? What it is?
broadcast.
Block size is again 32. How can I find the network ID? I can find the nearest divisible number by 32 to 223. Like dot 0, dot 32, dot 64. Somewhere?
Maybe that 90 is.
Got your point.
Got my point. So it will go till, like, what will be the
2
network
to
ID?
4.
2 to
2 to 4. 4.
2 to 4. Is this IP address belong to this subnet? Before
Yes.
2 to 4? Okay, yes, 2 to 4. Next subnet after 2 to 4?
This is the last subnet.
If I will add slash like 32 here, it is going to be 256 invalid. Means last IP address, broadcast address of this subnet is going to be 255. So tell me the valid host range. Valid host range is going to be what?
D option.
225 to 255. 192.168.187.2252.
Answer is B. B.
Option is B. B is the correct answer.
Yes.
Okay. Now, should I solve more questions, or I can give you the assignment and ask you some other interesting question?
You give us assignment and
Okay, so let me solve one more question. You will have 10 rest pending question. You can try by yourself. Okay, before next class. This is the, like, today and tomorrow is the last day for subnetting. If anyone is not going to practice submitting till like tomorrow, then guys, leave it. Right after CCNA you can learn it. Because from day after tomorrow I want you to focus on different topic. We will be using only submitting. Will not learn it, or I will not suggest you to practice submitting when we are practicing OSI or another topics. So what is the first valid host on the subnetwork? Subnetwork means subnet. That the node.
B.
Answer is C. 225.1.
C. Someone is saying B, someone is saying C. Tell me the one answer or both.
C, sir, C.
What? Valid host on the network that the node.
Here you can see subnet mask 128 means we have 1 bit
C.
on in 4th octet. Block size is going to be 128. Means this is network. This is a IP address.
Okay, yeah. C.
172.20.255.0. Then 172.20.255.128. So this IP address belongs to which subnet? This subnet, na? Yes. This subnet is ending on 127. So first valid IP address. C is the right answer. 172.20.255.
C is the right answer.
Yes, sir. B is the first one of the second one.
But here is
D is the right.
here is a typing mistake. It should be 255, na? Okay, no, sorry. It's 225 only. I was saying this one. This one is subnet mask. Correct. Option C is the right answer. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Here is the last question. What is the maximum number of IP address that can be assigned to the host on local subnet that uses this subnet mask?
C.
Means
Again,
3
C, sir.
bits. So 2 power 5. 32 minus 2, 30. Right? So there are 10 more questions, guys. Now I think you can solve it. Okay? So try it by yourself. Now let me give you some question from the VLSM, like real-time requirement. Let's suppose there is a requirement in a company. Like we have seen the difference between subnet mask and CIDR. Similarly, sometime interviewer can ask you what is the difference between FLSM and VLSM. So you all know the difference. FLSM is fixed length subnet mask. Let's say 10.0.0.0/8. I ask you to divide it into 4 parts equally. Which tool you will use for subnetting, FLSM or VLSM?
VLSM.
FLSM.
FLSM, right? Because equally we need to divide it into 4 parts. So fixed length subnet masking. And if I am going to ask you to divide it into 4 parts, so that 4 part or 4 subnet, so that I can have 200 IPs in first subnet like this, 100 IP in second subnet, in this case I will use VLSM. In this case I will use VLSM variable, because length of my subnet is not fixed this time, variable. In one department I need 200 IPs, in another department I need 100 IPs. Similarly, you know, in the company you can have requirement. Your corporate office can have requirement in headquarter, data center, branch office, right? In your LAN, building, campus, WAN, ISP, everywhere you can have requirement. Like, let's suppose if I will talk about the enterprises, because here we are learning enterprise network. In CCNA CCNP, what we learn? We master enterprise network. Similarly, we have another types of network as well: service provider network, SP, internet service provider network, data center network. Okay, so in the enterprises, let's say a company has a requirement of a company has one branch, a new branch, a head office, requesting everyone to put yourself on mute, getting noise. In a head office, there is a requirement: HR team or IT team should have 120 users. In HR department, there are, let's say, 40 users. In the finance department, let's say I have 30 users. And let's suppose in the management I have 15 users. See, if you are going to use, keep everyone in same subnet. What is the issue? Like, let's say I have used this subnet 10.0.0.0/16, and I am going to keep all the user in this network, in big network. What is the issue? Later, let's say I have a requirement. I ask you to configure your network in such a way so that only HR department or IT guys, IT can access internet or limited internet. IT department should have limited access of internet. How you can achieve this, configure this? When you have isolated the IT department, right? If I am going to keep all the users in this big subnet, it means my departments are not isolated. My big network is not isolated into department. We cannot configure any security, any policy. Not possible, right? So that's why we will definitely use one big subnet, but I will perform subnetting and find the best CIDR value, best subnet mask for each department, so that later if I have a requirement like IT department should have this access, HR department should have only this access, and finance department should have access to the server only, we can configure that, we can achieve those all things. That's why we are using subnetting. So we come up with subnetting for dividing big network into multiple smaller network. And when the size of our smaller networks are same, that is FLSM, and when length is variable, that is VLSM. In this case, VLSM is required because length of my each department is not same. So okay, forget about the main subnet. Just tell me what should be my CIDR value for IT department. CIDR. Tell me the CIDR.
/25.
/25. Very good. Before this, tell me one more thing. Do I need to give you one big network or a separate network here? Or you can select that, choose that as well. Like from which class I should use my main subnet. Here
From
can I
class C
use
it is better.
IP? No. From class C can I use here? From class C? Yes, definitely I can use IP from class C. But like this, let's suppose I have 200 sites, or let's say I have 50 sites. 50 sites. Can I perform subnetting from one big network to my entire company and use IP from class C? No. No, no, because from class C will give you like one network, one big network from class C can give you maximum 254 IPs only. No. If I have lots of sites, definitely no from class C. Then you have to use multiple class full network. There will be issue of summarization because maybe let's say my main subnet is 10.0.0.0/8. And with the help of subnetting, I have multiple departments and I have assigned one subnet to, let's say /16 to department 1, 10.0.2.0/16 to department 2, 10.0.3.0/16 to department 3, 10.0.4.0/16 to department 4, and so on like this. Let's say I have 100 sites, 10.0.100.0/16. Somewhere a router can install these all subnet with single entry. You will learn the manual summarization as well, but for now 10.0.0.0/8. You can see all are nothing but the part of this big subnet only. Right? So if I have multiple branches, I can like side 1, side 2, I can give this big network to side 1, and again inside the side I will perform subnetting. I can give this big network to side 2, again in side 2 I will perform subnetting. So this way you will use IPs in the company, in the corporate. This is proper IP planning. Our entire company's network will be simplified like this. Right? It will help you to troubleshoot the issue, to manage the network, to summarize the table, to improve the performance. So we are not going to use lots of class full network, one big class full network and perform subnetting. Right. So let's say this company in headquarter, branch 1, branch 2, branch 3, like this, there are 50 sites. So inside 1, like in headquarter, I have given this subnet 10.0.1.0/16. And in branch 1, I have given this subnet 10.0.2.0/24 like this. And now inside the headquarter, I have requirements. So I can perform subnetting on this. So that later we can summarize it as well. You can also find the exact summary address. You will learn that. No worry. So we can find the main subnet, but most of the time you will be given a main subnet as well in the production, and based on your requirement you need to design the network. You need to perform the subnetting. So subnetting is not only dividing big network into a smaller part. Subnetting is actually improving the performance. You guys are not responsible to configure the network. Anyone can configure. All the commands are available on internet. You are going to configure network in such a way so that we can get the best performance. That is your concern. Okay, so when we have separate subnet, we can isolate our network into department, we can implement the security, we can implement the QS. But when everyone is in one single subnet, that is going to be, guys, very confusing, very complex scenario. Troubleshooting is going to be hard. Size of database is going to be hard on the devices. Like router will have lots of entries in their routing table. It will be difficult to implement any security policy, any kind of policy. So very first thing which you need to understand over here for this requirement is, for IT department, I need what slash value? 25. For HR department, what should be
Mr.
my
Praful?
CIDR? Yes.
Sorry, sir, to interrupt you, but maybe we don't know what is the forecasting of the company. Are we able to change the slash 16 to /8 after
That is
production?
not allowed. You can do that, but that's not recommendation. If you are using IP from class C, minimum you should use 24 for network portion. 24 bit should be network portion. Otherwise, like let's suppose this is XYZ company, XYZ company, and there is one more company, ABC. When we will merge these two companies together, there will be confusion. If I will use /16 for class C, how you will advertise that prefix from XYZ to ABC, right? Maybe in ABC, like in XYZ, you are using, let's say this one, 10 dot, or one another subnet 192.168.0/24, your main subnet. After submitting, you are using 192, and this company is using what? 192.168.2.0/24. You can see both has a dedicated classful subnet, main subnet. Now they will perform subnetting. By using subnetting, here after submitting, let's say you have used 192.168.0.0/16, and this company is using /25, 26, 27. So when you will advertise, there will be overlapping. You can see now ABC subnet is overlapping in this subnet, right?
Sir.
So that's why it's not recommendation to use /16 or less than
And sir,
24.
and how to pretend it? Yani how to we will take a high portion of network for future use.
Telling you. No worry. Wait. See, so what will be the, guys, CIDR value for HR? Tell me this first. CIDR value for HR?
26.
It is going to be 26. 26 gives how many IPs? 62 IP. And I need 40. Perfect. Finance department? CIDR?
27.
27 gives 30 IPs, exactly same. And for management,
You put 37. Yes,
it's
37.
27.
28.
For management, sorry, for management you can use 28. Perfect. So this is most important thing, like based on my requirement, how to find CIDR. Now doesn't matter from which class you are using IP. If you will use IP from class C, you will get few number of subnet. If you will use IP from class B, you will get lots of subnet. Some subnet can be used over here in XYZ, some can be used in other branches. Like in headquarters, some can be used in branch 1, branch 2. By the way, for each branches, I have a dedicated class, like subnet with CIDR value 16 with 16 network bits. Inside that we can perform submitting. So let's say my main subnet over here is this one, 10.1.0.1.0. What will be my first subnet? 10.0. These two octet are fixed. We cannot change it. When I'm using /25, third octet is also fixed. Here it is going to be 0/25, first subnet with CIDR. What will be the second subnet?
That one.
Not .1, 128/. 16 to 26. This is going to be your second subnet, 1.128. We have discussed this. Remember the last class. Tell me the third
Yes, sir.
subnet. Third subnet. Like subnet ID
192.
of finance department.
192.
Add 32.
192 slash 27. And fourth subnet
224.
254.
224
Or 220.
slash 28.
Yeah.
So this way we can perform VLSM. This is VLSM, right? Here is your requirement. Here is the subnets. And see, in finance department, we don't have any free IP address. Like you cannot add new employee here. Again, you have to change the, like redesign the IP addressing. You have to redesign your network. Scenario number 2, in a data center, there are some servers. Guys, put everyone on mute. I'm getting echo and noise. When you are not speaking, keep yourself on mute. Yes, very good. Who has turned on your mic? There was lots of noise. No, it's okay. In a data center, there are some servers, like I had told you, web servers. And we have, let's say, 50 web servers. And there are some application servers. There are 80 application servers, and there are some database servers. We have 20 database server. So tell me what will be the CIDR value for application server? CIDR slash value.
Which class?
25.
25.
25. Very good. Doesn't matter the class, bro. Who is asking the class? Class not matter, na? For web server
26.
slash 26. And for database server
27.
slash 27. Right. Now here we can have requirement again, like for this particular subnet, configure high security. Right. This one more thing is here. One more thing, like now if you want if you want that database subnet should not be allowed to talk with application servers or web servers, you can do that. You can configure, allow or block any communication between these subnets. Those are benefits of using subnetting. Instead of keeping all the servers in one big subnet, I will use subnet like this. Another, in a company, let's say in head office, this time in head office I need total 300 IPs. Head office I need 300 IP. For again, you will give me a subnet for 300 IP, and maybe inside the headquarter again I will perform subnet. I can definitely perform, right? Submitting on that 300 IP. You will give me slash 26 or 12 slash 20, let's say 3. I will use slash 26, 27 inside the headquarter. We can use this. You do this. In branch 1, I need 80 IP. In branch 2, I need, let's say 60 IP or 60 users are there. And there is a side-to-side VPN. Anyone knows for side-to-side VPN how many IP addresses are required? Side-to-side VPN is point-to-point VPN. Side-to-side is point-to-point VPN.
Like a /30.
Yes, /30. Right, I told you between two routers, you will always use /30, 2 IP. For side-to-side VPN, 2 IPs are required. So this is your requirement. Again, tell me the subnet CIDR value and subnet ID. Let's say your main subnet is 10.0.0.0/8. Yes. So subnet ID can be 10.0.0.0/23 here. Yes, na? Here 10 dot.
Yes, sir.
Tell me the second subnet then. If I'm using /23 here. 2.0/25. How many of you have got it?
10.02.
Yes, correct.
Block size is 2, right? And for branch 2,
Yeah.
where I need 60 IP?
Same thing.
No.
Same, 10.02.
/26.
No. Tell me the network ID. Not 4, bro. I'm using /25 here. It is going to be 2.128/26 in branch 2.
26, yeah.
Right? And for this, for side-to-side VPN, what will be the next network if I'm using /26?
/30.
Subnet ID.
192.1.
2.1? No.
2.192.
2.192/30.
30.
Very good.
30.
Absolutely right. Right. So hope now you guys can solve the submitting question. Or should I give you more questions? Let me give you one more requirement. Here in a college, you are planning IP addressing for a campus network. Campus network, or you can say like college network. In a college, there are some students. Let's say in the college, 2000 students are there. 2000 student devices. There are some faculty. Let's say 200 faculties are there. And there's admin, 100 admin. And guest, there are some guests. So for guest, let's say I have Wi-Fi. Later you will learn this all design. How we will design the network, you will see, you will have one subnet for guest Wi-Fi as well. Like nowadays in all the corporate office, you will find guest Wi-Fi. So let's say for guest, I want 500 IPs. 500 IP for guest Wi-Fi. This is my requirement. Who will tell me the CIDR value for each department or each type of people?
What network are you using? A 10 network?
A student should have what CIDR value?
10.0.0.
Leave the network ID. Tell me the CIDR first. Only CIDR, sir. Only CIDR. Can 22 work? if I'm going to use 22, it means 10 bits are host bit. 10 bits are host out of 32 bits IP address. 22 are network bits. So 2 power 10 is what? Anyone knows? 2 power 10? 2 power 10 is going to be 1024. No, you need more IPs.
2000.
/21, right? For 2000 devices, 2000 IP addresses, we always use /21. And don't remember like this for 2000, around 2000 IP I will use /21. No, understand the logic. For guest Wi-Fi, now here we need maximum IP after a student. For 500 IPs, we will use what? CIDR? 23. Very good. For 200 IPs, you already know. Many of you know.
24.
24.
/20.
And 400
Slash
/25. And you will not always divide your network into a student, faculty based on devices. Many times you will divide based on traffic as well, like internet traffic. So internet user will be in different subnet. Data center or web traffic, file traffic. You will have requirement like prioritize the web traffic on R1. Prioritize the web traffic on R1. Even later you are going to learn the connectivity as well. Like let's say in a campus, there are 3 buildings. Okay. Again, you are designing the network and there are 3 buildings. Inside the building, you will create LAN and you are going to learn access layer. You have already learned the access layer switches where we'll connect the users. Access layer, provide access, right? Now here you will connect the users over here. Here you will have what? Users, servers, all LAN devices. And I had told you we will not connect all the access layer switches directly. Instead, we will use here distribution switch. Why? To manage the LAN routing only. So on the distribution switch, you will create lots of VLAN, like VLAN interface. See here, I said in the college or where I completely perform the subnetting. Here, let's say in headquarter or in here you can see for web server, app server and database server, or here for IT, HR, finance, you can see these are my subnet. So for each subnet, I will create SVI interface like VLAN interface where on the distribution switch. On the distribution switch means my distribution switch is going to act as a gateway. It is going to act as a gateway for all the LAN users. Right, so you can configure last IP address from each subnet on the distribution switch, or you can configure the first IP address, right? You can choose any one IP address. Most of the time in production, we use last IP address as a gateway from the subnet, because you are not going to configure even IP address manually on the client machine when your network size is large. Because if I will talk about the IP configuration, you are not only going to assign IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server IP, right? So we will set up the DHCP. Similarly, we have LAN over here. Here I have distribution switches and access layer switches. So all the access switches will be connected with distribution switches. Distribution switch will act as a gateway in building 3 also. This is called campus network. Everywhere you will implement subnetting. After subnetting, you will create lots of SVI gateway on this distribution switch. I can say D switch 1, D switch 2, D switch 3, D switch 4. Guys, we will discuss the architecture as well, no worry. These are foundation, first understand. Distribution switch 4. See, if you want to make this network complex, difficult to troubleshoot the issues, right? Difficult to perform any changes, then you can directly connect distribution switches. Like first, I can connect building 1 and 2 together. Let's say this is building 1. Building 1, building 2. And here is my building 3. So if I'm going to connect all the distribution switches together, like D switch 1 to building 2 switch, both the distribution switch, then building 1 to building 3, and on these all sublink, like which I am adding over here, what you will do, you will configure, perform again subnetting with slash I'm connecting building 1 and 3 with this color.
Point to point.
Yes, all are point to point. Then I am going to connect building 2 and building 3 together. So see, like when I have only 3 building, how many links are there? Lots of links and lots of subnet will be running there. Configuring policies, routing, everything is going to be complicated, right? So we will simplify it like we are using subnetting, right, to simplify my network. Similarly here, instead of connecting all distribution switches like this, what we will do, we will add a dedicated core layer here that we will learn in architecture, and I will connect all the building with core layer. Like this switch 1 will be connected with core layer, core layer. This will be also connected with core layer, and core layer. See how I have simplified it. Now if there is issue, we can easily find it and fix it. We can simplify the IP addressing as well. Like earlier, lots of subnets was running between the building. Now few subnets are running between the buildings, and still we have same reliability. This is scalable as well. If I need to add one more building here, we don't need to connect lots of cable, intercable. So there is architecture. You have to follow steps, whether to design a network or design is already, network is already designed. You have joined company where network, everything is working, already working, everything. So there you need to understand the infra, how they have connected, how they are running the subnet. But guys, multiple options are there. I cannot say like if I will connect all the distribution switches together, that will not work. That will also work. That is complicated, sir. This is simple scenario. So this is the reason why we are using subnetting, and here you need to perform subnetting. Like this is point to point link /30, right? In building 1, these are the departments. Here, these are the department, and for each department here are my subnets. For all the subnets, I will create gateway. Like this, right? So in all building you will perform subnetting like this, and you will create gateway on all the distribution switches, and with the help of these link core layer, you will make inter building reachability. right? Reachability between the buildings. So we have to understand routing as well, switching as well, how switches are going to forward traffic, how we will configure this routing over here. This is just one example, right, to understand how we are going to use the subnetting everywhere, not only in the college or enterprises or in the corporate office. Let's suppose in the in a hospital. In a hospital, again, you can have multiple building, single building. Inside each building, you need to perform subnetting. Hospital network. Hospital network will have requirement like ICU devices. Let's say ICU devices. 50 IPs are required. 50 devices are there in ICU. 50 ICU devices are there. There are some devices for doctors. Right. So let's say I have 90 doctor, 100 doctors in my hospital. Similarly, admin. Right. For an example, 80. CCTV camera. Right. Let's say 200 CCTV cameras are there in the first. So you are not going to put like CCTV camera, admin, doctors, ICU, everyone in the same subnet. No. Otherwise, we cannot configure the policies. Everyone will have different requirement here. Like in the inside building 1 and building 2, you will not allow all the communication. First, you will block all the communication, and then you will allow only required communication. Right? User from this subnet should be only allowed to access a particular application in building 2, like those kind of policies. Okay, sir. In the service provider network, in enterprises, you will see end devices, access switches, distribution switches, routers, firewalls, load balancer, these kind of devices. You will have lots of networking devices. In service provider networks, ISP network, mainly you will have lots of routers. Because router connects what? Multiple different networks together. Different network means different LAN, different campus network. Campus network is also LAN only. Right. Router is similar, like you can imagine one city over here. Let's say this is Delhi. Router is connecting cities. Delhi, and here is Jaipur. Between Delhi and Jaipur, if there is only one road, what is the issue? Is it sufficient? Only one big highway road is sufficient from Delhi to Jaipur?
No.
No. Right? What if any construction work is going on, any maintenance is going on, right? Similarly, in the network also, you need lots of path here, right? Here you can have in between Mumbai, right? Another location, let's say Indore, right? And there are lots of roads connecting with each other. Like, see, just I'm trying to make you understand the need of router in network. This is one road. This is Indore, for an example, and this one is Mumbai, right? But there are direct road as well here, right? Direct road as well here. Or let's say we have one direct road here only, direct highway, and someone want to travel from Delhi to Mumbai. See how many ways are there to travel Mumbai from Delhi. There are two ways. One this way, correct? One this way. Yes or no? Someone can first go to Jaipur and then Jaipur to Mumbai. But is it the best path, guys? Which one is the best path? This one is the best path. So router is going to tell you the best path. Like here is a, let's say, a traffic police, and this traffic police is pointing, hey,
So
anyone
Profile,
will,
it could be the best path.
shortest path will be
It
the
could be
best.
the best path.
This one.
If the link is faster to Jumper, it could be the
Yes,
best path.
whatever the best path is here, whatever, right? If it is the best path, then it should select this path. If this is the best path, it should select this one, right? So who will decide that? Your routers. That's why there will be lots of router in service wide network. Like let's say this is a traffic police pointing, hey, if anyone is going Indore, go this way. If anyone is going Mumbai, go this way. If anyone is going Jaipur, go this way. Or if it is a truck, go to Indore this way. If it is car, go to Mumbai. If you want to access cloud application, go there. If you want to access data center application, go there. So router will perform those tasks, and you will have design like this. In between this city, you will have multiple routers like this. You will create lots of path here. This way we are connecting cities. These all are nodes where service provider can connect their customer, right? Like I have one network in Delhi, one network in Jaipur. I can connect my Delhi over here and Jaipur over here. These all router will be selecting best path for my traffic when I will send web traffic, right? Router will perform best path. And now as we have isolated all the department, you know what we can do here? We can define a path based on my requirement that, hey, web traffic, my web traffic or my voice traffic are delay sensitive traffic. If I will compare voice and data, web traffic, like let's say someone is downloading 6 GB of file movie and someone is talking to manager over call, both are not same. Voice is delay sensitive, delay should be minimum, right? So I can define, like as we are using different subnet for voice, 10.0.1.0/24, and for data, let's say 10.10.2.0/24. So for this subnet, I can also define that this another path, right? From same network, web traffic can choose another path like this. So when you have isolated your department, when you are using multiple subnets, you can achieve these all things easily. Like these are policies implementation. That's why we will not keep everyone in one big network in the production, right? Let's say here I have a requirement like this. I have some router 1 in a service wide network, router 2 and router 3. All these 3 routers are connected with one multi-access segment, for an example, switch. In this case, can anyone tell me what should be my subnet CIDR value? CIDR value, so that router 1, 2 and 3, all the router can communicate with each other. R1 can talk to R2, R2 can talk to R3, like this. R3 can talk to R1 as well. Can I use here /30? /30, will it work? No. /30 is not. Let's say 10.0.1.0/30. Will it work? No. Whenever you will have this requirement, it means you need 3 IP addresses. How many IP addresses are required here? 3. One for R1, one for R2, one for R3. All the routers are connected in same broadcast domain. I will use /29. So for each type of design, you should have knowledge of your CIDR value, that what should be my CIDR value. And when you know the designing, proper IP planning and subnetting, then only you can troubleshoot the issue. Otherwise, you can't troubleshoot. Let's suppose here is a user in a network. Here I have a switch. Here I have a user. connected with switch. IP address on this PC, let's say PC1, is 192.168.1.1 slash, let's say 26. Here IP address is 192.168.1.2 slash 26 PC2. Can PC1 and 2 communicate? Can they communicate?
Yes.
Yes, they can communicate, right? Default gateway is not required as both are in same subnet. But by mistake, let's say admin had changed the IP here 192.168.1. Let's say they have configured 100/26. Now can they communicate? Can PC1 and 2 communicate?
Yes.
No, they cannot communicate.
No, that's a different network.
This is the reason why I said 70%, right? 60 to 70% network issues happen because of wrong IP planning and wrong subnetting. Similarly, another, like let's say switch is further connected with router. Interviewer can give you these scenarios. Router and the IP address on router is R1. IP address on router is 192.168.1. Let's say 65/26. Can PC1 and 2 access internet? Can PCs access internet?
No.
No. Right. So user is going to complain. Hey, I'm not able to access internet. You are the network engineer. You will access the PC. You will request to the client, hey, can I get the IP configuration of your system? He will run command IP config all, take a screenshot, he will share with you. You will see, okay, IP address is this one with /26, but their gateway is .65. That means gateway belongs to different subnet, right? This IP address belongs to subnet 192.168.1.0 and my god, Ahmad, how many times I have requested you to keep yourself on mute? You are creating noise, bro, in the class. It will be difficult for others to watch recording. Even one student has messaged me.
Just activate, sorry.
Okay, so and you will find the network ID of default gateway. So default gateway network ID is 192.168.1.64. Right. So no, PC cannot access. So you can see, you will ask user to give you the access to their system, or you can ask him directly to change the default gateway IP address. First, you will do that. You will access router number 1, and you are going to configure the last IP address here from the same subnet 192.168.1. What will be the last IP, guys? 63 or 62?
62.
62. Now can PCs
63
access
is
internet?
broadcast.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Now, yes, both the PCs can access internet. Very good.
Yes, sir.
Right? So just practice submitting questions so that you can understand how many users are going to connect in a particular department. Based on that, you can calculate the best subnet, right? You can also keep in mind the future growth. Like if I will give you another requirement, let's say I have another requirement in a company. This is your homework, okay? In a company, IT department needs same 120 IP, HR department needs same 50 IP, and finance 40 IP, and sales need 70 IPs, 70 users are there, and management, let's say 20 IP. These are your IP requirement, and there are some extra requirements like guest Wi-Fi. Guest Wi-Fi 100 users and CCTV 60 and future growth. For future growth, you need to keep 30% IP address free in each department, right? Let me remove these two also from here. Okay, so simple. These are my requirement, and 30% IP address for future for the scalability. How you will perform subnetting? This is your question. Okay, take a screenshot of it and you can solve it. Like, first, with 30% future growth, calculate the number of required IP in each department and then perform subnetting. From where do I start? You can use a class A IP 10.0.0.0/8, or from class B 172.16.0.0.0/. Can I use 16? Yes, you can use 16. You can even also use less than 16 for class B, but what I told you, that is not recommendation. Like, you can use IP 192.168.0.0/16. Like, if you are not going to if you will keep your if you will be keep tracking of overlapping, and you are not going to merge your company with any another company in future, you don't have any requirement like that, you can use /16 as well. Otherwise, I can use /16 as a main subnet, but I will not assign this to any department, right? I will perform subnetting and I will define like CIDR value more than 24, right? So after 30% of growth, how many IPs are required in IT? 120 plus 30% of 120. It is going to be around 150. You can tell me the exact number, or otherwise
156.
156. Okay, 156. Then HR from 50 to 30%, 65. So
Yes, 60.
for all the department, you can calculate the number and then you can perform subnetting again, right? And then I can start assigning the subnet that, hey, IT, for IT, my subnet is 10.0.0.0/24. For guest or for HR, my subnet is going to be 10.0.1.0/25. This will be the second network, right? And later I will show you how you will use last IP address as a gateway, how we'll create the gateway, virtual gateway on the SVI. What will be the benefit of creating virtual gateway? Like, it can never goes down. Like, physical interface can goes down if there is any issue with cable. Okay, it will goes down. If there is any issue with port connector, it can goes down, right? But virtual interface will be always up until unless your device is not down, right? You can also visualize different scenarios of subnetting. I think this is more than sufficient for subnetting. Now we can move to the another topic. But if anyone is lacking here, guys, definitely you need to practice more. You can get lots of questions on internet, or you can find lots of questions in your book. You can see here, this is to learn the fundamentals from each class. Class B range, you can see how we got this range for class B. 2 bit is reserved, first bit and second bit. First bit will be always 1, second bit will be always 0, and last 6 bit can be 6 times 0 to 6 times 1 for class C, also for class D and E. Then table, subnet mask, and here I can show you some question. You can see default range. Even again we have some IP addresses reserved from each class. Some IP addresses are private, some are public. Private IP range. See, in the company we are not going to use all IP address from 0.0.0.02 172.255.255.255. No. Out of those range, some IP addresses are reserved, some IP addresses are private, some are public. You can see the private range of class A. 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255.255. We will use IP from this range in the enterprise. Rest all the IP addresses are public IP address. Those are not free, those are payable. You have to buy from the ISP. Anyone knows how we buy IP address? You can take these as a challenge, question, assignment, and after the class you can try to gather the answer. Like how we purchase public IP address. Right? For an example, in my company I need one public IP address. What is the process? I need 100 number of public IP. What is the process? You will find from the ISP. That is one line answer, but there is concept of RIR, Regional Internet Registry. There is concept of INA, ISP, right? So there are some steps. You have to go through that to get public IP address, but these are private IP addresses. These are free to use. You can use it anywhere. But issue with these IP addresses are, you know what? Not accessible or not routable on the internet. You cannot send any traffic on the internet with the help of private subnet. Later you will learn a technology. That's why by default here is the internet, and on the internet let's say I have a Google server. So by default users cannot access Google server even there is reachability. No. By default private and public cannot communicate. Here we'll use the public subnet. Let's say I'm using IP from class A. Here my subnet is 10.10.10.0/24, and here public subnet is also 1.1.1.0/24. This is public subnet. You can see apart from the private range. So service provider is going to perform subnetting over here. You can perform subnetting over here on the private, and private and public cannot communicate. So later you will configure NAT technology here.
Yes, by using NAT only.
Right? We can make communication. Then user can access internet, not by default. Now you know what we need to learn. Now we have understood one thing: how we can identify the devices in network, either by using MAC address. With the help of MAC address we can identify the device within the local network. We can communicate within the LAN. We can send traffic within the LAN, and with the help of IP address within the LAN and between the LAN. So there are two types of address. In MAC address I have told you it is 48 bits address represented in hexadecimal. Total we have 12 characters. So all MAC address can be from 12 times 0 to 12 times F. But this 48 bits is divided into two parts. First 24 bits and last 24 bits. First 24 bits are called OUI, Organizational Unique Identifier, and last 24 bits are called vendor assign. In IP addressing, 32 bits address represented in dotted decimal divided into 4 equal part. Each part, or you can say fields, each fields carry 8 bits. That's why we are saying octet as well. First octet, second octet, third octet, fourth octet. With the help of 8 bits, my decimal value can be from 0 to 255. So total number of IP addresses are, or range can be 0.0.02 255.255.255.255. First we come up with classification. We classify IP addresses into some classes, class A, class B, class C, based on size of my network, based on size of my network. Big size company is going to use IP from class A, medium size from class B, last a small size from class C. Then after classification, some IP addresses are reserved for public and some are private from each class. Then we come up with subnetting and VLSM. In subnetting, we have two types of subnetting. Means there are two tools to divide large network into multiple smaller networks. One is FLSM and another one is VLSM, and you know both. Now what we need to understand, let's say two PC are there, two PCs, PC1, PC2. Let's suppose just you have purchased these two PC or desktop from the market, right? So machine already has MAC address. Let's say this machine has MAC address A, this machine has MAC address B. What I had told you in first class, the basic requirement of communication or basic components of network, there should be a sender, there should be a receiver. So sender is there, receiver is there. Third thing which I had told you is what? Media, through which my data can travel. It can be wired or wireless. Here. Let's suppose I have connect the cable, wired cable here. Can I send data from PC1 to PC2? No. No. Where is the protocol? Protocol is still missing, right? So next important thing is protocol, and then data, the actual information which I want to send from this device to this device. So now we need to understand the protocol, right? Here for IP configuration, we are going to configure IP protocol. IP stands for Internet Protocol. So let's say my IP address over here is 10.1.1/24 and IP address over here is 10.1.2/24. Now definitely we can send data from PC1 to PC2. Now we can send the data from PC1 to PC2. But question is how? Question is how we can send data from PC1 to PC2. For an example, ping. If I am going to ping 10.1.1.2 from PC1, you know what is ping? Ping is not a protocol. Anyone knows ping?
ICMP protocol.
No. Ping is a utility, is a tool used to check connectivity between two devices. A tool used to check connectivity, you can say IP connectivity between two devices. But how, Praful? How? If I'm going to ping 10.1.2 from PC1, how it is going to check the connectivity? So in the backend, ping uses a protocol. The protocol name is ICMP. You know, in the entire networking, any task can be performed in two ways. There are two ways to perform any task, like checking connectivity from one device to another device task. We can do it manually or by using a protocol. Like here I am using a protocol, ICMP protocol. So what ICMP protocol will do? ICMP protocol is going to generate one ICMP request message. If you want to download a file from PCB to PCA, you need again a protocol. That file will create a request message, right? Definitely you have to send something. So here my data is nothing but ICMP request message. My data is ICMP request message, the actual information. I want to send this to whom? To PC2. Where is that address? Where is that address? We cannot send this data directly, this ICMP request message directly. So like this ICMP request message, your data can be HTTP request. It can be HTTPS request. Right? It can be FTP request. It can be telnet request. It can be SSH request. Right? So all these are nothing but protocol. Like when whenever you type any domain name in the browser, right, there are two protocols for web access. Means you are trying to access the web page. To access web page, there are two protocols, either HTTP or HTTPS. So if you will use HTTP, then HTTP is going to generate HTTP request message. But where is the address? There's no address. Until and unless address is not there, you cannot send. The basic requirement of communication is here. Here it is, source IP, right? Source IP, the IP address of the PC of the sender machine, IP address of sender machine, from where you want to send any data. Any data. Data can be ICMP request, HTTP, file, movie, download, video, text, voice, anything, doesn't matter. What is the data? That is called payload as well. But data should have source IP. Data should have destination IP. Data should have source MAC. Data should have destination MAC. Data should have source port. Data should have destination port. Right. For application layer traffic, source port and destination port. And for network layer traffic, source IP, destination IP, source MAC, destination MAC. So ICMP is a protocol, works at layer 3. Right. So you will not have port number. So now our topic is going to be understanding how we are going to attach source IP 10.1.1.1, destination IP 10.1.1.2. How to attach source IP and destination IP. How to attach source MAC and destination MAC. Source MAC A, destination MAC B. Even then also PC cannot send it directly, right? It PCs, your machine only understand binary, so it will not convert your data into bits. And then based on your physical media, based on this media, it will convert bits into signal, right? On optical fiber, it will convert bits into light signal. On Ethernet cable, it will convert bits into electrical signal. It is like that. And then it will send to PC2. And again, what PC2 will do, and PC2 will receive it, PC2 is going to first check, hey, what is the destination MAC address? Is it my MAC address? Is it my MAC address? If yes, then only I will accept it. Otherwise, it will discard at layer 2 itself. If destination MAC is same, in two cases, any device accept data at layer 2. If destination MAC address is unicast and it is my receiving interface MAC address, or destination is broadcast, because if it is broadcast, then also it can be for me. If I am broadcasting something, it is for everyone, right? So in two cases, receiver device will accept if destination broadcast or destination is the MAC address of destination device. If it will match, it will remove this extra information and it will check IP address, destination IP. Is it my destination IP address? If yes, then accept, otherwise discard. If yes, then remove it and send ICMP request message to ICMP protocol, right? On both the devices, ICMP protocols are running, ICMP here also and here also. So on client machine, ICMP protocol is going to generate ICMP request, and on the receiver machine, only ICMP protocol can understand that request. IP protocol cannot understand ICMP request message, no. So both the protocol will work, that is end-to-end communication. But for end-to-end communication, you have to perform encapsulation and decapsulation. Means you have to add extra information on the sender machine like source IP, destination IP, source MAC, destination MAC, and you have to remove those extra information on receiver device. And as everything is going to happen automatically, it means protocol is running behind the scene. Like if I am going to ping internet, so as I told you, ping is not a protocol. Ping is just a utility. Ping cannot generate any data. What it will do, it will call to ICMP protocol, hey ICMP, come here and generate one ICMP request for 8.8.8. ICMP protocol will generate one ICMP request message, and it will send that request message to your IP protocol. And IP protocol is going to add IP header, and in that IP header there will be source MAC and source IP and destination IP. You can see. Then it will send data. So this particular thing is called encapsulation on the sender machine, like adding extra information with data, and on the receiver machine decapsulation happens, means removing those extra information to get the actual data. As it is happening automatically, protocol is responsible for that. Like any task can be done manually, like you can do it, you can generate the data, or you can assign that task to a protocol. Protocol will handle that, like assigning IP address on the client machine. Either you can manually configure IP address, or you can assign this task to DHCP protocol. DHCP will handle it. So now we need to understand this most important part, protocol, and in protocol encapsulation, decapsulation. And if I will talk about the foundation of encapsulation, decapsulation, guys, it is not only between the PC, it is going to be between any two device. Packet flow will be same. Doesn't matter it is to PC or to router or to firewall or to load balancer or to access point or to SD-WAN controller, doesn't matter. Every time your flow is going to be same. Encapsulation and decapsulation is going to be same. Protocol for encapsulation and decapsulation is going to be same. If you understand the packet flow between two computer, you understand the packet flow between two routers as well, to firewall as well, to server as well, to printer as well, to IP camera as well, to IP phone as well, between two load balancer as well, between two access point as well, between two WLC as well, right? Means everywhere the flow is same. And how it is same? It is same because of OSI model. That's why OSI is the foundation of encapsulation and decapsulation, right? So tomorrow I will start the OSI. We'll go from the scratch. Why do we come up with OSI model? So that different vendor devices can communicate. You know, earlier what was happening, like let's say there is a Dell laptop and HP laptop. So Dell was using their own protocol for encapsulation and decapsulation. HP was using their own protocol for encapsulation and decapsulation, and their protocol was not compatible with each other. That's why HP was able to communicate with other HP devices only, and Dell was able to communicate with other Dell devices only. Apple can communicate with Apple devices only. That is possible, but everyone in the world have to use devices of same company. Is it possible? No. Right? Someone prefer Dell, someone prefer HP. So why it is possible? Because everyone is following a common blueprint, a common protocol. That particular thing is called a standard, right? So OSI model is a standard. Every company, like whoever want to connect their device to internet, they have to follow that blueprint. So tomorrow we'll explore that blueprint and we'll see the encapsulation and decapsulation between two devices. There are so many protocol, guys, inside that. We'll discuss each and every protocol one by one with the help of labs. Right? But before that, I'm expecting, guys, you all know the subnetting now. You all are done with subnetting, right? From tomorrow, like after tomorrow class, I will request to all not look into subnetting questions. If you have missed something, forget it. Right? When I am teaching you the OSI model, make sure your 100% focus, concentration is on OSI model only. If you have missed something in OSP routing protocol and we had started BGP, leave that. Right? But if you are going to practice subnetting when I am teaching OSI model in the class, sir, you will not even, you cannot feel when you are like not on the track, when you are not on the track, when you are behind from the class, and when you are not on the track, sitting 2 hours online will be challenging. difficult. When you are understanding, when you are connected with me, you will enjoy the class. But when you are not connected, it will be difficult. See the spelling of ear. So my English is too bad. Please forgive me for that, and hope you guys will manage it.
It's great, sir. It's great.
Thank you, thank you. Okay,
Sir, can I have some question, please?
why not?
Okay. Could you please, before start or as I model, uh, only explain how to think when starting a new company while we are taking subnetting now? That's mean, look, as I told you, I started my career, but my network in my company was already created, nothing changed. So how to think what subnet should I use, what's IP, because we are using 172, we are using 192, we are using 10 dot to all classes. So how to think when you start building the company structure?
See, have you understood this requirement, like based on my requirement, how I have created the subnet?
Yes.
Yes. Now, when I will discuss the OSI model, like when we'll finish the OSI model, we will connect them together. And while we design a network for enterprise, we'll see the designing part as well. At that time, we are going to connect everything together. Answer is not in sentence. There will be lots of things. Right? Not alone subnetting
Yes.
can teach you the network designing. Not only OSI model alone can teach you the designing. When you learn the both
But
and protocols, then only you can understand that. What should be my?
okay, so simple question, sir. Can I use all the private network in my company? That mean I can use 172, I can use 10.2.2, I can use any private network in my company?
Yes, you can. You can use
Okay.
any private
Well,
subnet in your company. But if you will use lots of class full network, let's suppose in a department you have used this subnet 192.168.1.0/24, but there are only 10 users. Only 10 users. What is the issue?
we are losing a lot of IPs.
No problem. This is private IP address. This is private IP address, free. So what's the issue?
It's the control.
It's all about performance. Praful. Here when we are using /24, we have 254 IP addresses, right? This is lengthy subnet. Instead, for 10 IP address, I can use what? 192.168.1.0/ for 10 IP
We can
address.
use 28. We can use
28. Tell me which subnet, this one and this one, which one is smaller in size? Like router is going to install.
28.
Yes, exactly. If router is going to install both in the routing table, means router is going to use, if router is going to install any subnet, it is going to use their memory only. Memory only, right?
But sir, how if we used /28 and after that we need additional IPs?
No, then why you will use /28? Then use /27.
But we don't have any forecasting. It's my question.
Sorry?
I mean, we don't have any forecasting for future use. I'm creating the subnet now. After 2 months, they use
No.
additional IP.
You
They
are
need
not going
additional
to.
IPs.
No, you are not going to design network like this. After you will consider after 2 months what will happen before designing. It is not like after 2 months I'm
you
going
see,
to redesign the network.
yeah, it's my question.
No. So you will have proper planning of that. Like after 2 months, you like company will have at least expectation that I am going to expand this company by 10 users. I am going to expand this department by 20 users in next 6 months, one year. So you will have that information already. Otherwise,
Okay.
you know the migration. What happened? Like when companies don't plan properly, you have to replace the subnet, right? In that case, you need downtime. You have to request for downtime to your client, customer. Many times you got message from the banks, right? Server will be inaccessible from this to this hour. Correct? What is happening? Like some maintenance work is going on there. Maybe they are replacing the subnet. Earlier, the engineer had assigned the subnet to department poorly, right? Then definitely you have to redesign that is issue. This is the reason why you are learning it. If let's
Okay,
say my
sir.
company, PM Networking, right? So if I'm going to open any institute somewhere, right? I will do the subnetting based on my requirement. It is not directly I'm going to purchase the router or switches, firewall from the market. I will start connecting. No, first I will prepare everything on the paper. First everything will be prepared on paper. There will be a team of people will design everything on paper. Then we'll calculate the number of required devices, how many routers are required, how many switches are required, how many firewalls are required. Then we'll order to company, then devices comes. We'll start designing from the scratch. So if company is going to design network today, definitely company is not going to scale that. Like there will be unexpected scale just after 2 months. No, that is not possible. Right? Even a non-technical company, let's say content writer, a company XYZ has, like there is, let me give you one scenario. There are two person A, person B, both are working in, let's say both are working in a content creating company, and both have decided to open their own, like to open their own business, right? So they hired let's say 20 employee. So first they will design network for 20 employees only. That is going to be very small network. They will start working, and after let's say 2 years their business grow. Now there are 500 users in one branch, and there are multiple branches. So based on that, they will be scaling their network and calculating the subnets. Maybe when their organization is short, like 20 users are there, only 20 users, and they need to connect all the client machines together, and there should be a centralized server where all can perform the task, where they can save the content, they can access the content of other employee. Even to design this a small network, do you think those non-technical guys, two non-technical guys, are going to buy the switch server and going to connect? No, they will hire network engineer who can plan it for him. In network engineering, going to suggest, hey bro, just buy one switch. Again, which switch? They will say this switch, go with this server. Otherwise, those are non-technical guys. Those guys don't know how I can connect this centralized server so that everyone can perform tasks there. This is the reason why you are learning networking and why network engineers are required in the company, right? So team of engineers will be there, and you all will plan together the future growth as well, and based on that you will calculate the subnet. Hope it is clear.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Most welcome. Anybody, anything else? See here, my IP address is 192.168.1.1/26. On PC4 my IP address is 192.168.1.20/26, and on the router my IP address is 192.168.1.100. Tell me, can PC1 and PC4 communicate? Can they communicate with each other? Hmm?
Yes, they can, sir.
Yes, they
Yeah,
can.
but
Both are in same subnet. Gateway is not required. Doesn't matter gateway is correct or not correct. Gateway is not required. But can they access internet or can they communicate to different subnet? Answer is no. They can't. Right? Because
so you say the gateway is not required?
now, yes, to send traffic in different subnet, gateway is required. But here, when we send traffic within the LAN, you know how switch forward traffic. How switch forward traffic, guys? Based on
Using
MAC
the MAC
address
address.
table, right? So switch is only going to check layer 2 information and it will take forwarding decision. Let me show you. Like let's say PC1. On the PC1, I'm going to assign IP first 192.168.1.1 255.255.255 dot. What will be the subnet mask? 192. Gateway is not configured. Go to PC4 and let me configure IP here. 192.168.1.20 255.255.255.192 and gateway is not required. Done. Let me send ICMP packet. To send ICMP packet, ping 192.168.1.20. First of all, my machine is going to resolve MAC address of the destination device, right? You will learn that in packet flow. I want to show you the simulation. So let me turn on simulation mode and let me ping again. See, when I ping, what happened? What I told you, ICMP protocol will work. ICMP protocol has generated one ICMP request message. If I will open this ICMP request message, here you can see. This is what we need to learn in OSI model. Here is ICMP request message. Where is my pin? Or I can do one thing. See, is it visible? See, what is this? This is your actual message, ICMP request message. And here what is IP header, right? The extra information so that we can send. It is similar like writing letter. Actual data means what? You want to send a letter to your family member. So you have written the letter on the paper. Letter is ready. But can I send this letter directly? No, there is no address. So what we will do? We will put this letter into envelope. On the envelope we'll add what? Source and destination. So similarly you can see this actual ICMP packet is encapsulated in IP header, in IP envelope you can say, and in the IP envelope you can see the source IP address and destination IP address. But no one is going to check this source and destination IP address between PC1 and PC2 because we have only switch here. We have only switch. So how switch will forward traffic? Switch will forward traffic based on MAC address. Where it is? Here it is. Another header you can see. Right? So there are three things. Actual data which is ICMP plus there is IP, and then there is MAC address. Right? Then only you can send data from one PC to another PC. This can be sent from PC1 to PC2. And how my switch will check or forward data? Just by looking into the MAC address. How my router forward data? By looking into the IP address. This is topic of our next class, OSI model. So if you want to come up with basic knowledge of OSI, just go through it once, and tomorrow we'll discuss it. First, why? By the way, I have already told you why. To make communication possible between all vendor devices. So what we need to learn? What? Now for each and every topic we need to learn three things, guys. Why, what, and how. And then finally troubleshooting. If it is not working, then troubleshoot any topic. So same way we'll understand why OSI, what is OSI, how OSI works, and troubleshooting. All the troubleshooting, I said 70% of issues happen because of IP. But who will help you to troubleshoot that? OSI model only. 100% issues, network issues, we troubleshoot 100% network issues with the help of OSI model. So powerful troubleshooting, network troubleshooting, right? So if you know the OSI, miss the encapsulation, decapsulation, packet flow, you can troubleshoot the issue in the network. Otherwise it will be difficult. That's all for today. Now in the first class we had discussed some networking fundamentals, like what is network, what is networking, types of communication, mode of communication, simplex, half duplex, full duplex. Now after that we have discussed addressing, IP address, MAC address. Now we are going to understand OSI model. After OSI model we'll see the packet flow, and then guys, then we'll start the labs. Means from tomorrow we'll start the basic lab. Even we have already started testing, IP addressing, and those all things. See, client will send this to switch will not send this to router, it will directly send to PC4 performing unicast. Okay, so no worry, you will understand this encapsulation and decapsulation tomorrow. This encapsulation and decapsulation. That's all for today. If still anyone have question, please ask. Otherwise that's all. Let's continue from here tomorrow. Okay, Tarun, Ajmal, Matan, Vishnu, Mohammed,
Thanks.
Ahmad, Bonit.
Question.
Yes,
From
Ahmad.
my side, thank you, sir.
Most welcome, sir. Most welcome. Yes, Ahmad, go ahead.
I'm trying to log in on EVNG, and he asked the username is I put the root and the password is EV, you said, right?
Correct. Username is admin and password is Eve. Default, by default. Admin and Eve.
Oh, okay. Maybe this one. That's why it's not working.
Okay.
Okay, username admin.
Now we are just using packet trace